Okay.
So, man, how you doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself there, Clips?
Good, good. Thanks for asking. Okay, so first question is like, if there is no God, right? So it's
hmm
like a genuine question. Like I'm kind of curious. So how was the first human like created?
Well, so your question is kind of goofy because you're assuming that a human was created instead of evolved, right? Instead of evolution. So the first human evolved millions of years ago. I forget how many. And that's, it's evolution. So
So
there is no creator.
why doesn't apes turn into human anymore?
Oh
Yeah, what
wow,
you mean?
your understanding of evolution is just horrifyingly bad. That's not actually what evolution says. It says that apes and humans have a common ancestor, right? And can you even define evolution for me?
What do you mean?
Can you
What
define
what?
evolution? What is evolution?
I don't know. It's like it's like a
You
phase.
don't know. You don't know, and
I
you're
do,
trying
I
to.
do. It just I don't got the best words to explain it. You feel me? I know what it means though. Like it just I don't know. It's like evolution is like it just gets better or something. Something like I guess you
No,
just
no, there's no better at all with evolution. So evolution is the change in allele frequency over time in a population. Alleles are groups of genes that control things like eye color. So all the eye colors are controlled by the allele for eye color, right? So if you have blue eyes, you have the gene for blue eyes, green eyes, all of those are the alleles. So every time someone is born, they change the frequency of eye colors in the human population. That's what evolution is. So if you're going to deny evolution, then you have to deny that genes exist.
I mean, I'm not denying evolution, but I don't think that's how that's what happened. I mean, do like I don't know, do is there like any type of evidence or something like that? You know what I'm
For
saying?
evolution,
No, there's
yes.
the first human, the first human.
Well, it depends on how you define the first human, right? Because that's not how evolution works. So, but we do have the fossil evidence all going back to that common ancestor at the very
Wait,
least,
so
if
wait,
not
hold on.
further.
So do you believe that Adam was the first human or
Nope.
not?
No, in fact, I have no.
Okay.
In fact, not only do there's scientific proof from evolution that proves that he wasn't, because we can actually tell through genetic markers in the gene sequence when a population of animals gets small enough down to 2 or 4 or 7, and we don't show any of those markers. So there's just simply no scientific way for the Adam and Eve story to actually be true.
I mean, okay. So what you say about the DNA, right?
Uh,
But the DNA shows evidence shows all that there's close genetic affinity between humans and African apes. You know,
mm-hmm.
it points at
Well,
common ancestor
we've got
further
a
back
90.
in time.
No, we've got 98% in common with chimpanzees in particular, but yes, apes and humans have a common ancestor.
Yeah, but it points to a common ancestor further back in time though. But like like the genetic data, like it allows scientists to trace the organs of modern Homo what is it called? What's the word?
Homo sapiens.
Yeah, to Africa. It wasn't it like between like 200-300 years ago.
Hundreds of years ago? No.
No,
Hun, hun,
200-300. I said 200-300 years ago.
no, 200 years ago would have been the 1800s, dude.
What you mean?
You said 200 years ago, right?
Two to three
For
hundred. Yeah.
Yeah, it's much longer than that. Not 200. It's actually I think it's longer than 200,000 years. But what's
You
your point?
sure?
Yeah, it's not 200 years. 200 years ago, in the United States, we had the Indian Wars going on, the expansion of Europeans throughout the continent. So we were humans by that point. Yeah, I mean that's just basic history. Have you attended a history class at least the high school level?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so how do you get 200 years? That makes no sense. if you've actually
No,
studied
no, no.
history.
Wait. What do you mean by what you said about 200 years again?
You said that humans and apes had a common ancestor 200 years ago.
No, I mean, I don't think that's what I said. I said genetic data allows scientists to trace the origins of modern Homo sapiens to include sapiens to Africa between 200 to 300 years ago. I didn't say that.
Not 200, not 200 or 300 years ago. No, 200
But
or 300 years
it is
ago.
200 years ago.
No,
It
because
was.
so the Homo sapiens, yes, we came out of Africa without a doubt, but it's more
Yeah.
closer to 300 or 400,000 years ago. So you're off by by a factor of 100,000 years.
Yeah, I said 200 to
Multiply
300.
your
That's what I
multiply
said.
your time scale by 100,000 years or 100,000 years and add another 100 to it, right? Because it's not 200 years ago, it's 300,000 to 400,000 years ago is when modern humans, Homo sapiens, came about. And the genus
Right.
Homo has been around for 2.3 million years. And
Okay.
that's not
So
just genetic evidence, that's also the fossil record, right?
right. Yeah. When did the evolution happen? When the first human, like the human? Okay, you think it was a human or humans when the first like?
No, there was no first humans, right? At some point in evolutions along that line, we start to go, okay, this is more Homo sapien like, this is less Homo sapien like, but there's no cutoff of exactly when that happens because that's not how evolution works. Right, it's humans imposing this concept of species, and it's and what's a Homo sapien and what isn't on what we see in nature. It is not nature imposing anything on us, so that's not how it works. Yeah,
No.
because remember the definition of evolution, right? It's a change in allele frequencies over time in a population. That means it's small changes across time within a particular population. So there is nothing about evolution that says that a progenitor to Homo sapiens all of a sudden gave birth to Homo sapiens. That's not the way evolution works at all.
Right. I mean, it's like it just I don't know. I just don't understand why it didn't work. It just didn't kept going that way, and we had to
What do you mean
reproduce
kept going that way?
like just evolve in humans to I mean from I guess apes or whatever. So you feel me, we had to reproduce to.
Humans are still evolving. We have changes in allele frequency over time. Like I said, every time a baby is born, the percentage, the ratio of blue eyes or whatever eye color they're born with, it changes. That frequency changes. So we're still evolving
No,
today. Yeah.
I mean that's basically on genetics though. I mean blue
Yeah.
eyes
Yeah,
blue
that's
eyes
the
are I
entire point,
mean
right? An allele is the group of genes that give us blue eyes or green eyes and all of our eye colors, right? That whole group of genes that give us eye color is called an allele. We may have a particular gene for a particular color of eye. And every time a baby is born, the frequency of whatever eye color they have is increased by 1. That's how evolution works. Thanks, buddy, for sharing the live. Appreciate it. Would appreciate other people doing that too. Does that make sense?
I don't know. I don't know, man. Just oh, I wish like hey yo, I wish we had like video evidence like actually what happened. To be
But we
honest.
do. I mean, that's what the fossil record shows, right? The fossil records, you can go look at the fossil record and see just how subtle the changes are in some cases. And you can see where paleontologists and other people who study this stuff are have arguments. Does this actually belong in genus Homo or not, or and all kinds of stuff
What
just
did it say?
based on how.
The fossil record, right? It provides consistent evidence of systematic change through the time, right?
Yes.
Or like this descent with modification.
Yep.
and it says
No,
numerous
it's not
numerous.
no. Descent of the modification is kind of a very, I wouldn't say it's a dead idea, but the correct way to say it is the change in allele frequency over time in a population.
Isn't it the same thing
Because,
though?
yeah, well, so remember,
It
Darwin is
is.
dead. He died over 200 years ago. And he got a lot of things right, and he is definitely the father of modern biology and the father of biological evolution, without a doubt. But he also got a lot of stuff wrong, and he didn't understand a lot of stuff. Like, he didn't even know genes existed. We didn't get proof genes existed until later in his life.
Exactly.
Yeah,
How are we supposed to
so
know that though? Yeah, like we.
because he observed nature, and that's what his entire book was about, was observing nature.
Yeah.
And that's all you really have to do is
I
look at
mean,
nature.
I mean, could it be possible? Like, if I take a hot take, like, what if genes didn't exist that time?
What do you mean? If genes didn't exist, and we wouldn't have evolution?
I'm.
That's the whole. I mean, remember, the definition of evolution
Nah,
is the change in
that's
allele
my point.
frequency
Like
over time.
that's why I say. I mean,
What?
because I believe Adam was the first human. So
Based on what? What's
based
your
on
evidence?
based on religious books, right?
Why do I care what the Bible says?
I mean, otherwise you just gotta like prove the evolution thing that you said, the fossil record,
Yeah,
like you said.
there's tons of proof for evolution. It's one of the,
I mean, I know,
every,
but I don't think the
it
first
comes from
human,
the
though.
entire field of biology. Everything in biology, it proves that evolution exists. I mean, you've got journals, multiple journals dating back to the late 1800s, all the way up through today, with all of the evidence you need for it. And if you're going to, like I said, if you're going to deny evolution, you have to deny that genes exist. It's the only way you can deny evolution. If you agree with genes exist, then you agree that evolution exists.
Yeah. Evolution obviously exists, but it just. Mm-mm.
Then what are we
So,
arguing about? If we agree that evolution exists, what are we arguing about?
no, I mean, obviously evolution exists in many things. It's just not about the first human, but I don't think that's how the
But
first
why,
the human.
so why doesn't evolution exist for the first? If you believe that genes exist, then how do you figure that? How do you
Okay,
explain the
all right,
fossil record?
look. Mammals, right? They never appeared before reptiles, nor human fossils with dinosaur remains, did they?
No, there are no humans with dinosaur remains. That is correct.
Yeah. And I mean that just like a, I don't know.
You don't know. I don't know what your point is, because you're not saying anything that disproves evolution at all. And saying that some book you think is sacred and holy says something doesn't buy you anything, right? It doesn't get you to evolution is true or false, right? It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't tell you anything about reality. So, what's your evidence that evolution is false? And what's your evidence outside of the Bible, which has all kinds of crazy stuff in it that isn't true? Why should I believe the Bible?
I mean,
You don't have any reason, do you? What's your reason for believing the Bible? Why do you think the Bible is true? Why do you believe it?
I don't know, because I'm not an atheist, I guess.
Because you're not atheist, you guess. So why do you believe God exists?
Like I said, because of the first human thing.
Because of the first human thing. But you don't
Yeah.
know. But you don't have any reason to believe that there was, in fact, a first human. That the Adam and Eve story is even remotely true, right? And since evolution is true, we know that the Adam and Eve story can't be true.
I don't know. I mean, no, because I don't know, bro. It just doesn't make sense that if like apes turn into human or whatever, like whatever happened, and it just like
So
it doesn't happen
evolved. They
anymore
didn't
with
turn
apes.
into and it's a common
Evolved, I guess.
ancestor.
Yeah, they evolved into humans, but they don't evolve anymore. They literally die as apes. Like I don't know as of right now, or like any
But they
after.
are still evolving.
What do you mean? How are they evolving?
Everybody,
Like how?
if you have
I'm talking
genes
about
and
apes.
you're living,
How are
your
apes evolving? How
population
are
is
apes
still,
evolving?
yes, the ape populations are still evolving. All of the ape
Po-
species are still
population and
evolving.
no evolving how? Like I'm just asking like how? What do you mean by evolving? Like how are they
They're
evolving?
adapting to their environment their environment changes. That's how that's how it works. If there's no environmental pressure to change, then species don't change. That's why you have sharks being
How
basically
did
the
they
same for
start talk
millions of
how did they
years.
start talking? How did they start talking and the apes that they're evolving that you're saying evolving to the evolving to the surroundings or whatever. They don't speak. I don't know. How they start talking.
They do speak. They speak to each other. They don't speak a human language, but they
But I thought they
definitely have
evolved to human
conversations
though.
with each other. Meerkats have
Yeah, I mean
conversations
that's the
with each
everybody
other.
does that.
Hmm?
Every single animal has their own language. They talk to each other, bro. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah. It's just making noises. That's all we're doing. That's all language is making noises.
No, nah, come on, like yeah,
Yeah,
nah, like you
yeah.
know, nah, you trying to play, no, you know what I mean, like actual speaking, like human language. That's what I'm trying to say. Why
So
don't
what?
ape evolve? Since you're saying they're evolving and adapting to their surroundings, so why don't they speak to
Meerkats
humans anymore?
describe humans, and
Who
they're meerkats. Yeah,
describe humans?
can have a vocalization, series of vocalizations that'll describe a human. Yes. So it's just
But I mean,
noises.
we talk about apes though. We talking about apes. We're not talking about
It doesn't matter if we're
meerkat.
talking about apes. Apes can do the same thing,
No, they
right?
can't speak like humans. They
We've
can't.
taught apes sign language, right? Apes can communicate.
I mean, dogs know sign languages too. Like, come on, a lot of
Yeah,
animals do it. A lot of pets do.
yeah. And that's all communication is. Now we may do it better than most people or than most animals, but that doesn't make us anything more than animals just because we do it better. I mean, beavers
What do you mean?
chop
I
down
mean,
trees better than we do
animals don't run the
without.
society. Animals don't run the country. We do, right?
Well, animals do have a society. Absolutely, they
No,
have
I
a
mean
society.
we run them. But they're under our control.
No,
What?
I tell you
Animals
what.
are
You
not
go.
under human control.
You walk into a lion enclosure and see how that goes for you.
I mean, so okay, okay. Hold on, I got a question. So you telling me if all right, let's say every single animals versus all the humans in the world, who's winning?
What do you mean by winning?
Like a war. Let's say they just charge because we got weapons. They don't. They don't know how to make weapons. They don't got the brain too.
So we use tools better than they do. So what?
So why don't? That's my point. Like, why don't apes do that anymore? Like, since they
What do
evolved,
you
you
mean
saying,
anymore?
and then you're saying they're
They've never
adapting.
used. In fact, tool use is one of the things that exemplifies the Homo genus from the other ape species. Is that we use tools more than almost all of them. So that's just something that has happened as part of our evolution. Same with communication, right? We communicate and use weapons and use
We just
tools.
don't
We
use
do it
weapons.
better
We
than
do a
they
lot
do,
of
and
things.
so we survive better because we do that, right?
I mean, it's a lot of things we do better than them. We
So
obviously a
yeah,
lot of like
and that
a
happens
hundred
because
of
of
things.
evolution.
That's my point, bro. Like, you know what I'm trying. You know what I'm saying. You're just acting like you don't know
No,
what
I
I'm
have no
talking about.
idea what you're saying because your ability to communicate doesn't seem to be real good, right? I mean,
No,
you're not
no.
able to express yourself very well. You don't know why you believe in God. You don't know why evolution isn't true, except that you happen to believe some book for some reason, right? So
Hey man,
you
I
haven't
guess,
done
bro.
anything
I
to
just do what you
disprove
believe.
evolution. The fact that we communicate better doesn't disprove evolution. The fact that we use tools better than any other animal species doesn't disprove evolution. In fact, it does just the opposite. It proves evolution, right? The human's ability to band together and work together is second to none, and that's evolution right there. Because cooperation makes
Oh,
survival
okay,
easier.
okay. You know what, bro? Let's start from the start again. How was the first humans created? From what? Apes, right?
The humans were never
Evolved. They
created.
evolved.
Yes, they
They
evolved.
evolved.
See, you keep trying to sneak that created word in. It doesn't work, right?
Okay, look.
Yes.
So
And they evolved.
apes
Yes.
evolved to human
No,
beings.
no.
Apes evolved to
Humans
human
and
beings.
apes have a common ancestor. We evolved from the common ancestor. Yes.
And then what happened? They evolved, and then they started speaking. Their ancestors started speaking, right?
No,
Is that what you
as far as we
So
can
what are you
tell,
saying?
vocalizations animals using vocalizations to communicate predates even that common ancestor.
And then they started having all type of races: white, black, Asian.
No,
Yeah.
races have nothing to do with species.
So how that happened? All these different
Races
races.
are a social construct based on skin color. That's all
No,
it
I'm
is.
saying from the apes, like how it happened in evolution, how that happened.
Just different skin colors. Who cares? And we're all still human.
No,
We're still
in
Homo sapiens.
evolution,
We're
because
still the same
bro,
species. Race is nothing more than a social construct.
yeah, all the apes are the same species, right? We both agree on it.
No, humans are all the same species. Apes and humans are different species.
Yo, you know what? Never mind, bro. I'm just gonna, yeah, nah, you got it.
So, okay. All right. That was fun.